Hello students, today we are going to see about cyber security. Okay, we are all browsing the internet for getting some data, or we are using the social media such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, etc. and etc. Okay, so there is a lot of chance for cyber attacks, persons trying to steal your information or trying to attack you to steal some information or gain some purposes for themselves. Okay, so there is a lot of security threats are there in the cyber world itself. Okay, we are going to see each one of them. Okay, so what we will see in this section are what is a cyber crime, then types of cyber crimes, then how to fight cyber crimes. That's what we are going to see in this section. Okay, first what we are going to see about what is cyber security or what is a cyber crime. Okay, so a cyber crime refers to all the activities done with a criminal intent in cyberspace. Okay, what is cyberspace? It's a space or it's an environment when we are connected to the network with the help of electronic devices. Okay, so in a cyber crime, a computer is the object of the crime or can be used as a tool to commit an offense. Okay, so what is a criminal activity? Criminal activity is a particular activity which is illegal by the law. Okay, so like that, in a cyberspace, if a person try to steal your information or etc with the use of a computer as a tool to commit this crime, then it is a cyber crime. Then a cyber criminal may use a computer to steal or expose sensitive data, economic crimes and other malicious actions. Okay, so if a particular person, if a hacker try to achieve your data and expose this sensitive data. Okay, so you may have sometimes heard that certain companies background information or their plans are exposed, then etc maybe happen. So if a company's future plans are exposed, then what happens? The rival companies can counter their actions. Okay, so such kind of cyber crimes are there. Then economic crimes are there, stealing credit card passwords and use that particular credit card to purchase items or identity theft, etc and etc. So a cyber crime basically a crime or a criminal activity or a malicious action committed using a computer as a tool in the cyber space. That is what a cyber crime is. Then types of cyber crimes. Okay, cyber crimes can be broadly categorized into three: cyber crimes against an individual, and cyber crimes against a property, cyber crime against government. Okay, so against an individual means crimes targeting an individual. For example, stealing the passwords from a particular person or defaming that particular person or bullying that cyber bullying that particular person. Okay, etc. Then against property means stealing money. That's the property there. Okay, stealing money or making a hardware not working properly or destroying a computer itself through hacking or etc. So crimes against property. Then against government. Okay, cyber terrorism, cyber warfare, then cyber espionage. This kind of actions comes under the category of cyber crimes against government. So broadly categorized into three. Then cyber crimes against an individual, cyber crime against property, then cyber crime against government. Okay, based on the target of the of the action or the victim of the crime. It is categorized into three. Next, we are going to see each cyber crimes in detail. First one we are going to see is identity theft. Okay, so what is an identity of a person? Okay, is identity means properties or items or what we can say, or properties itself, properties that uniquely identifies a person. Okay, what if someone can pose as you and purchase some items from a store? Okay, so that's what identity theft is. A criminal gains access to a user's personal information to steal funds or access confidential information, posing as that particular user. They can also pose as you and perform malicious actions. Okay, then what happens? This attacker remains anonymous or remains in the background, but he poses as you. Okay, or simply he wears a mask as you and then steals these funds or access confidential information, then whatever punishments or whatever consequences of that particular crime will be fall on that particular user or you itself. Okay, so a person steals the identity of a particular person. Okay, nowadays our identity is in what is the identity? Our identity in cyberspace, our Facebook profile, Instagram profiles. These are our identity in cyberspace. Then a particular hacker or a criminal can steal this information and then pose as you and send mails or anything. Recently in news, you may have seen that Kerala's top IAS officers or government officials IDs, Facebook and Twitter IDs are stealed from or create a new ID, new Facebook account as them itself. Then ask their friends in the official Facebook account and then try to access their account or try to lure money from this kind of friends. Okay, so that's a simple example there. Then attacker obtain credentials through malwares and phishing. Okay, so two techniques are used. Malwares and phishing techniques are used to attack, gain these credentials, user login credentials. For example, your Facebook username and password. This kind of details can be gained using this malwares and phishing. Then how to prevent this identity theft? Avoid sharing credentials and passwords is the main way to prevent identity theft. Do not write down your passwords or do not share your passwords to anyone. Okay, that's the main way to prevent identity theft from happening. Okay. Next one is phishing, spoofing, and farming. Three techniques used to gain or access a particular personal information of a user. That is phishing, spoofing, and farming. Phishing is an email sent from the internet as criminal disguised as an email from a legitimate, trustworthy source. Okay, so in phishing, the attacker sends email, okay, which looks like exactly similar to the official emails from the legitimate or trustworthy sources. Okay, for example, from a bank itself. Okay, the attacker can create an email which is exactly similar to the bank's official emails. Then ask users credential to submitted through the email. Then he can fraudulently obtain sensitive information through that particular emails. Okay, so do not fall into this phishing techniques is that before replying to each and every type of emails sent by the official accounts, verify that it is officially sent from the trustworthy source itself. Okay, and also remember that banks or any other financial institution do not ask for your passwords or OTPs or ATM card numbers, etc. Okay, if they want to change your credentials, they will call you to the bank itself. Do not ask them through the emails. Then spoofing. Spoofing describes a criminal who impersonates as another individual or organization with the intent to gather personal or business information. Similar to phishing, phishing is like an email. It's an email technique, emails only. Okay, comes under the category of spam itself, but phishing is emails only. But spoofing is a criminal impersonates as another individual or organization itself. Okay, so he can masquerade as a person itself and then ask for your credentials. Okay, so main aim of spoofing is to gain or gather personal or business information from that particular person. Then farming is another technique which is similar to spoofing or phishing itself. Then it creates a website that resembles the legitimate websites used to gather usernames and passwords. Okay, as a simple example, you can say now it is the era of online banking itself. Okay, so if there is a fake website resembles to your bank, then you will get into that particular bank and bank website and then submit your username and passwords there. So after that submission, then the site will be blocked there. Okay, so you cannot access there. You will be returned back to the search page itself. Then you cannot access anymore further. So farming techniques use the original websites, duplicate websites, and then duplicate the original websites and gather usernames and passwords. So that is phishing, spoofing and farming. In phishing, fake emails are sent to access personal information. Spoofing means a particular person is impersonates another individual and gain your personal information. Farming means creating another websites or a duplicate website of the original website and then used to gather user credentials such as usernames and passwords. Next, phishing and smishing. Okay, two type of another methods are phishing and smishing. It's a variation of phishing. Okay, so we have learned that phishing is the technique that fake emails are sent to gather personal information. Okay, so the telephone version of phishing is called phishing. Okay, so it relies on the social engineering technique. Okay, it is used to trick you to provide information that others can use to access and use your important accounts. Okay, so for example, if a call comes from the bank and asks for your username and password, okay, so someone may believe that it is actually coming from the bank and then they may provide the personal information. So phishing through the telephone is called phishing. Okay, so an automated message comes from the phone and asks for your password and other credentials. Such kind of attack is called phishing. Then smishing. Then smishing uses cell phone text messages. That is the difference between smishing and phishing. Phishing uses telephone calls itself. Okay, automated calls or a person itself calls you. Or smishing means text messages to lure consumers in. Okay, so they comes with certain messages, asks for immediate response. Often these messages contain URLs or phone numbers itself. Okay, so a particular text message comes from your bank. Then, for example, it can say your bank is under attack. You have to change your password and username. So call this number and tell the username and password itself. Now it's so a user may panic and call back and give the credentials. So such kind of attack is called smishing. Okay, so voice calling through the voice calling, phishing through voice calling is called phishing, and smishing is the phishing through cell phone text messages. Okay, so that is the difference between phishing and smishing. Then DOS and DDoS attacks, denial of service attack and distributed denial of service attacks. Okay, so what is a denial of service attack? It's an attack meant to shut down a machine or a network, making it inaccessible to its intended users. DOS attacks are accomplished this by flooding the target with the traffic or sending it information that triggers a crash. Okay, so if a particular website or a particular network, they are serving a particular purpose, right? So if a particular person or a particular organization wants to shut down that or temporarily slow down that network or particular website, they send lakhs of or flood with the traffic with the unusual, uncommon requests. Okay, for example, they send uncountable ads there or sending requests there. Okay, or trying to access the network from different places at the same time. In that case, that site will crash. Okay, so that is denial of service. Okay, so the intended users, the actual person trying to use that particular service of that particular network will not be able to access that particular network. Okay, so that is denial of service attack, attacking a particular network by sending large amount of requests at the same time, thereby crashing that particular network or website. Then distributed denial of service attack. They target websites and online services also. The aim is to overwhelm them with more traffic than the server or network can accommodate. The goal is to render the website or service inoperable. Okay, so each and every website has their data saved in a server. Okay, each and every server is designed to handle a particular number of requests and responses at a particular time. If more than that capacity comes, then the server will be slow down or the site will crash. Okay, the denial of service attack and distributed denial of service attack are the same. Okay, so denial of service mainly target to a particular network or a particular machine, but distributed denial of service attacks websites and online services. Okay, so main aim is to crash that website or crash that network and the rule out the users that are intended to use that particular website or network. That is denial of service attack and distributed denial of service. Then cyber stalking, cyber bullying, and cyber trolling. Okay, what is stalking? Spying into others' life is called stalking. Okay, in cyber stalking, the attacker remains anonymous. He will not be on the screen itself. Okay, he will remain anonymous and spy on the victim through electronic medias. Okay, for gathering personal and financial information about the victim. Okay, so cyber stalking is an activity in which an attacker remains anonymous and trying to spy on the victim to get the personal information or financial information from the particular victim. Then cyberbullying is an attacker remains anonymous and create havoc in person's life through electronic media such as social media by using mean photos or messages. Okay, so if a particular person do not like another person, then he can use a fake account and then send vulgar photos and then or vulgar messages or this criminal activities against that particular person by remaining anonymous. Okay, so that's called a cyberbullying, creating problems in one person's life through electronic media. That's what cyberbullying is. Then cyber trolling is a behavior wherein the troll intends to inflame or upset or otherwise damage civil discourse or target a particular person. If a particular person wants to create a particular havoc in the society itself, in the civil discourse itself, then it is called a cyber trolling. Okay, so creating trolls which is intended to defame or upset a particular person or a civil discourse itself. That's what a cyber trolling is. Then how to prevent this kind of cyber crimes? What are the different methods to prevent? Then like we have said in the network prevention also, here also some methods are there. Okay, keep your software updated. Okay, if a particular software company feels that their particular software is not secure enough, they will provide another update solving these particular issues. So regularly keep your software updated to avoid these kind of cyber crimes. Okay, then enable your system firewall. Enable your system firewall to prevent unauthorized accesses. Then use different and strong passwords. Okay, so what are the common passwords? Mobile numbers, and then what we can say, date of birth, etc. So don't use these kind of common passwords. Use different and strong passwords. Then use antivirus and anti-malware software to prevent attack from the software parts. Then activate your emails anti-spam blocking feature. Okay, so each and every email client has a spam blocking feature now. So you have to enable them to avoid spams. Then use two-factor authentication for all your authentication or online services. Okay, what is the two-factor authentication? Not only a password, but the time of your login, an OTP will be sent to your registered mobile number. So using this OTP and password, then you can log it. So OTP will be only sent to your phone. So a hacker can not access this OTP unless he have your phone. Okay, so use two-factor authentication for all of your online services. Then encrypt your local hard disk. Okay, so if a person try to access your computer system, if your hard disk is encrypted, it's an additional work for him. So he may stop there. So encrypt your local hard disk. Then shop only from secure and well-known websites. Do not use unknown websites to purchase items. They may be set up to steal your information. Then use a WHOIS private service. It's a private service used to mask your IP or private domain. Provide a private domain or a secure domain. Use that kind of services. Then again use a private secure DNS server. Okay, so privacy can be purchased there. Okay, so this items WHOIS or private secure DNS, these items can be purchased online to remain anonymous in the website or remain anonymous in browsing. Then use a VPN, virtual private network. You may have heard of them, using a different ID to log into the network. Okay, then your ID cannot be tracked there. Then encrypt your email also. Then monitor your children's online activities. Okay, then only we can prevent these kind of cyber crimes. So that's all for this classes. So we have seen different type of cyber crime and how to prevent them. Okay, so watch the video fully and understand the concepts. Thank you.